Greetings, beautiful people, divine beings, or greetings. Oh man, let me just button up my shirt. Really don't matter. Greetings, blessings. That light is brighter than them. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just been real sensitive to like these. I don't know how y'all been. Okay, that's better. Greetings, peace and greeting, or whatever. Ah, man. I have a message to relay. This is in regards to the matriarchal, the unveiling of the divine feminine. Man, let me tell y'all. I know it has to do with a part of the ascension symptoms, as well as we're cleansing, as well as we're purifying our energies, as well as we are learning more about self. And as we're learning more about self, through our experiences, we are connecting with source. And as learning our connection with source is revealing to us the importance of how the matriarchal is bringing back, restoring the land, or restoring, balance within the universe, or, the ethers, the cosmos. That being said, the matriarchal has and is, or has, this whole uproar or chaos of what we're seeing being displayed has to do with the matriarchal now being in reign and taking her rightful place on the throne. Or it's not so much of her, but it's an honoring, how devalue, just, it's so many words, how the matriarchal has been of society, has been just, I couldn't even put it into words. It's utterly disgusting. Spirit always wants me to relay this message to the mothers, and that's why we're speaking about the matriarchal and the healing that's taking place. And we always speak about the womb, because that, again, this is where a lot of trauma, succubus energies, wicked things, molestation, rapes, or just so many things through time, through eons, that has happened. That being said, when we speak of the divine feminine, or the primordial energies, which is the darkness, which we all come through the darkness as the light, being that which of a soul that comes here through the portal or the womb of the woman, meaning that, again, where our minds begin. So as we are journeying and learning what it is to not only be of light, in a positive way, and not so much of doing so much of good, but it's more of, seeing the negative, how the negative polarity, or like that of which a battery, the darkness, we had to really see what has been happening for us now to acknowledge our spiritual journey. Spirit meaning that of knowing that I am light, and being in the spirit meaning that of I am dark and light. So this is what we're seeing. It seems like a reverse, but almost in a sense of moving forward, but at the same time backwards. But again, it's all happening now. To the women, to the mothers, let me say this. You are loved, you are appreciated for all that you have endured. I will be the first, and just because this is a video, but I'm going to say, forgive us. Forgive us as men that unknowingly and knowingly have taken advantage of you, have not honored the matriarchal, that have not honored the divine feminine within ourselves energetically, and or the divine masculine. Forgive us, forgive the fathers, the men, that are so in their ego, in their pride, which is, again, they could externally express these things, that of the light, but being a man that's in tune, knowingly, you cannot run from your darkness, because that which I am, the light in that darkness. And so this is accountability. It's not so much me speaking for all men, it's me speaking for honoring the divine within me, honoring the darkness, that which I come from, being that light that, again, guides me through the dark, through the moments, through all these things. See, that same darkness that men or through society has taught us to hate, which that we see of our own women. And see, this is the battle in the mental, again, mothers of the mind in the psychological warfare. Also, this is a part of which some of us are selected and elected to bring forth this awareness. That what you have endured, the pain, the agony, through your experiences, through your childhood, through this whole spiritual warfare, I acknowledge it. We acknowledge it. My ancestors will no longer let this just go on and continue to go on. As honoring the divine within me is honoring that the divine feminine is no longer to be seen or viewed as an object or something, to be taken advantage of. Sexually, mentally, verbally, physically, all that, spiritually. Because honoring that is knowing that no longer seeing you with a filter of what has been psychologically been going through time, and to what man has taught us through history. When I acknowledge this, then that's too how I can bring forth balance. How I bring light to, how our mothers have, went through, have gone through these hospitals and endured so many agonizing things. How, you have parents or certain people that have abandoned their kids, or you have been abandoned as a child, or certain things that you're coming into the awareness of now by honoring the divine within you, knowing that the woman is not supposed to be seen, or we, energy, being that this is energy and spirit, we're not supposed to be seen as something. So the divine feminine is not to be seen as something sexually, or something, what's the words, in the sense of just these degrading things, just to be seen as just an object like ass, and these certain things that, again, what makes us who we all come to be. And see, a part of what a lot of us, the women or the divine feminine, is experiencing is that of which cleansing her womb and honoring that, learning to what it is to honor that divine within her. Returning to what we know is the primordial waters, the primordial existence of everything. Learning what it is to reconnect with source. And know that, how much we all have been in the dark. How much she will no longer be in the dark about who she is and how she is supposed to be viewed, and not in this degrading way man has, portrayed her to be. You see, that is the psychological warfare here. Until you see the beauty within yourself and acknowledge the light within yourself, you now This is the moment to rise. We are rising now. We are elevating now to a higher awareness and a higher consciousness. This is why vibrationally the world is ascending. It's no longer where our women and men, especially our matriarchal, when we're seeing the awareness now, when we honor that, not just what we've been, what we've seen in our existence here or our moments here, that the woman is to be viewed in this, just this over sexualized, or just degrading way. No, that's done. Now the healing is taking place. Now the light is being restored. Now the light is bringing forth not only the awareness, but the healing within ourselves. Yes, it's time for you, this moment now for you to no longer, no longer use sex as a tool, because of, again, this is what has been taught. This is what, how society and so much, spiritual warfare has happened. How history is, how much we have been lied to. You're not just here to just be, forced upon and, you're more than just having, you're more valuable. You're powerful than just being, up under a man, or even, however. You're more than that. You're more valuable than that. That's how the divine feminine sees you. Where you have to see yourself as that. Something divine, something precious, something beautiful. That light is forever. That's sacred. Seeing yourself as being sacred. Seeing your womb as being sacred. You choosing to heal that part of yourself this lifetime. Loving yourself through the healing. And then attracting that in someone else who can reciprocate that. Knowing that this is what a part of what we are coming into now. See, this journey, your journey is not in vain. It's for you now to become aware of that. As the mothers, to heal yourself and your lineage, to acknowledge the light, so you no longer walk in those dark ways, in those wicked ways of what even the men you have been with. And see, now this brings more awareness to the light within you, and you attract that light within others. Then you connect with other mothers. Then now these mothers can come together and be guardians for the babies. The babies that have been abandoned, the babies that, are going through not knowing if they're going to have a parent because of, their parents taking a jab, or it's just so many other things that, again, that's becoming apparent now. We're becoming more aware of now. This is what the collective conscious is. It's being conscious that I am in this body to become aware of this human experience. I am here as a light. No longer mothers. We're going to ignore the light now, because your inner child, we're all a part of this. We're all a part of one body. Those people that are out there and, and it's just giving into all these, fleshly and worldly things, you are being the one that's having this awakening and awareness now. Source chose you to change that narrative, to see the light within yourself, to see that little girl or little boy, that inner essence, your light in the corner, that's in the dark crying out for you. Your inner child crying out for you. More and more crying out for you. You don't have to stay in the dark anymore. It's okay to heal. And through your healing journey, you'll realize how sacred and precious you've always been since a child. And see, this is what Source is bringing awareness of. See, when we speak of that, of the matriarchal, you have to see how much our kids, our young girls, and just especially the mothers have endured so much, and it's been ignored. But people not knowing that in the spirit, there's nothing that goes unnoticed. Source is bringing something upon this world, upon these lands, that even man or nothing can stop. Now is the moment to allow your light to guide you now. It's okay to choose that now. It's okay to acknowledge that healing, to bring balance within yourself, to to bring balance within your chakras, to bring more awareness into why you chose and spirit guided you, to go within yourself to see the light, to restrain from sex, to see why it is that you're healing, so much trauma that has been passed through your wombs. Now becoming aware of how your womb is sacred, becoming aware of what you're eating, becoming aware of how, just how wicked the world has been because of so many things have been attacked, sent to attack you, the matriarchal, for us to try to forget about the matriarchal. But I'm here to let you know, a man that's honored, that honors the divine feminine, that honors the masculine, that honors both energy, that's balanced within himself, loving you first. He wants a man that wants a woman that love. A man wants a woman that knows what it is to want herself, wanting herself to change and see the light. That again, we have to see how much through history and through all these things that light has tried. People have tried to dim that light within us. No longer seeing ourselves as just, just from a physical. But now sources, you're reconnecting with yourself to see the depths and how beautiful and divine you've always been. How divine, masculine, and feminine is one and the same, or the light and dark. And just know what has happened has not gone unnoticed. The great mother is not happy with what has happened to her children. The father is not happy what has happened with what is going on. Spirit was telling me, it's like we have to learn to love the light within us that's always been there. We have to learn, meaning we have to learn to love you without the physical. Meaning that you're seeing yourself without, becoming aware of the light to be able to see in the dark. This will show, you will pass this to your daughters. The same energy. The same thing with the men. Seeing ourselves, seeing that how the psychological warfare on these platforms, becoming more aware consciously what we're doing. We're not gonna change everyone, but it starts with you when you see the light within yourself. See, as we heal and see the light within ourselves, we make the world brighter again. Now we can trust and have faith. Now we can talk about these things. We can speak about it. We can shine light on it without feeling, ashamed. No longer will the mother, the matriarchal, be ashamed of what she has brought forth, because we are here now. This is why we're experiencing these awakenings and this awareness now. The awareness of the light being there. I just had to get that out, man. Oh my goodness. But it's amazing, man. As much as I know we're all feeling these what we know it as ascension symptoms. Wanting to rest more, wanting to leave behind, and so many things. See, that's the ascension that's happening. upon, you know, the earth and everything else. All those things as you know it. And see, when you look at the awareness of the platforms and these artists and certain stuff, as we ascend, we we as the light shine, uh, we shine more on the darkness that we see in the world, or you seeing the polarity of things, how important it is to uh, love yourself through these moments, wanting to love yourself, being open to loving yourself, being open to that light within yourself. So you, had we not had this awareness, the world or everything as we know it would still be in the dark. The wicked will not be exposed, but now they're trying to run. No longer. Mm-mm. This is why you're seeing so much that it's like one source, you know, the creator give you these glasses or certain things, there's no returning from that. And it goes so much deeper, man. It's um even how what we're seeing in the world, um just, you know, the destruction, the violence, and so many things. And see that over time is a part of what has been passed through the womb. You know, things leaving and into the matrix, and see, this is a part of the reprogramming and the cleansing. It's like that of a, you know, like of a virus or something that's attacking the body. How much even what we know is black and white, but people forget about the different shades in between. And see, this is important of how things are being restored, because the wicked is being cleansed, and then we're bringing forth this awareness, and this elevation and ascension is bringing forth a new people, a new way of living, a new way of viewing yourself. And see, that leaves the dark where it is. People that want to stay there, that are, you know, content with staying there. And see, no longer where our bodies, or where our, you know, um, what we're experiencing be able to hold on, or we won't be able to attach ourselves to those things that no longer serve us, that want to stay in those places. You see, that's a part of cleansing. That's like a part of death to the old self and rising into the new self, the higher self, seeing the light. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. Infinite light, infinite love to all. And continue to let your light shine, because in these moments you'll realize that your light can never be dimmed. Can never be dimmed. And another thing, Spirit, is like the awareness we're coming into with us being aware consciously, is that we're attracting that of which what we are consciously. You know, that light and love. And also that attracts connections, relationships that are reciprocated in that way. And that is what people speak of as, you know, divine unions, um, divine connections. Because I'm telling you, the stuff that we're coming into, we're going through what we're going through with ourselves, but in the moment, it's for purpose for us to connect with those that are on that frequency, you know, a higher frequency. We're being elevated mentally, spiritually, and, you know, consciously. And it's very few, but in a sense, see, had we not become aware of this, this brings forth the healing to humanity, and also creating that of which is you know, divine, you know, divinely from source. So that's why we had to see why relationships cannot withstand, because of what mainly has been happening is how the focus has just been external, physical things. Nothing can withstand connections that we are attracting consciously, or from a spiritual perspective, is that of which that we see the light, meaning that when you see this, you attract what you are, but it's like you seeing the spiritual aspect of the work you've done within yourself. So when you attract, whomever it is, spirit aligns you with, that union or connection, again, is with self, loving self. And then when we attract that, we'll see beyond just the physical and what connects us spiritually. And see, that's the thing about being neutral and balanced. And see, that right there, see, that it'll show you the more value or longevity, or what we speak of like a in the sense of like an infinite connection, or like that's what we speak of spiritually. See, the relationships prior to a lot of things were just focused physically. This is why you see a lot of with a lot of spiritual warfare, certain things, how how much of babies being birthed out of not out of in the physical way, more focused on the flesh rather than the spiritual. Seeing the connection of how we are many things inside, how we are sacred, how we are, why we've allowed certain people into our women allow certain men into your womb. Even men seeing now why you just go out there and exchange energy with women, not knowing what these people carry, energetically, spiritually, going all into the depths. And it all has played its part up to this moment. That's a part of the dark leading, seeing the dark. And then those that are coming to this awareness is that you are the light guided, through this darkness. And so that, again, it's like too much of anything in a way, or is like can consume one if you allow it. Then again, that comes to a place of like balancing and staying neutral. And see, that's the wounded masculine, the wounded feminine, overextending, sexually, mentally, spiritually, all these things, to now come into this awareness. Oh man, it's so beautiful. It goes so deep, man. It goes so deep. It goes so deep. But that's what you're gonna see like happening, these beautiful moments. It's depth of the old, and really it's like in the physical, and happening in the spiritual, but also in the physical. And then the coming of the new. When water comes and all these different elements, it's cleansing. It's like that when we fast or cleanse our body, we drink more water, we cleanse our body, we flush our bodies out. And see, we're connected to that as to, in the cosmos. As we do these things here on earth, as it, as it is in heaven, as above, so below, in a sense, yeah. So my will shall be done as above, as it is in heaven, as it is on earth, in that sense. So this is why, like, again, we're seeing so much, like, happening so rapidly, man. Just get prepared. Like I said, be very attentive to your visions, man. I keep telling, I know I'm not the only one. We're all like people that are connected. When I say that, when there is the letting go and the detachment, and we're coming to this a higher awareness, there's so much physical death that's going to happen, and that's due to the the judgment and the wickedness, and how this divine order. That's just one thing that Spirit keeps, revealing. Is like, that's just apparent to what's happening. but it's like a way of like cleansing in a way. Yeah. But yeah. Ooh, get so much deeper, man. But I just had to release that. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Shalom. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And remember, like a lot of us are in these places to know what it is to stand in our own power, to love ourselves more, to stand within our own light. Because all we've witnessed since we arrived here, like from the cosmos, from the ethers. You are a soul again that had to travel through your mother's womb, through the darkness. See, a lot of this happens. This is why we be speaking about the womb. A lot of this happens. We have to see how much wicked things and just so many things that have happened through the matriarchal up to this very moment. And it's like all those things that were hidden is like catching up to this moment. That's what we're seeing unfolding. But it's beautiful because the guys, the spiritual guys, and just sources here in so many ways. So we don't have to worry. Just know to Spirit always wants me to speak to the matriarchal because I realize how important it is as we learn to honor that. And now seeing ourselves when we see that light, we see ourselves more in less of, or no longer seeing ourselves in how the world has betrayed us, or portray the divine feminine and masculine. So, yeah. Woo. But yeah. Let me tell you, that divine feminine, that mama don't play. But anywho, it's more than that. It's